Once again, guys, welcome to another episode. Today I am just gonna take you through one of the projects that we are currently working on. We are located right now in the Convent Drive in Lavington. This is a new project. We are doing quite a number of things. We are being involved in the installation of gypsum works, skimming and painting, wardrobes, tiling, flooring, external wall finishes, and cladding to the external parts. If you look around, you'll see 3 units. These are 3 units for different people, but on our project, we are actually directly involved on this particular one, whereby I will just go in and take you through from inside. But even before I go inside, on the outer parts of this house, the external walls, we are doing some special effects on it. And then on the lower edging, on the lower skirting of the house, we are also doing the cladding, which you will also see how it comes out. And without forgetting, I will also just take you through maybe through the progress as it picks up. We are starting on that next week. So this project here, this is actually right now we are entering this project from this side, but the main entrance point will be on this side. So the main gate is going to come on this side, and then this will be the driveway, and this will be the parking. A very unique feature with this project is people will not drive all the way to that side, people will not go all the way to that side, but there will be a floating bridge around here that connects this house, that house, and those houses on that side, whereby once you park on this side, you just walk on the bridge, and where those guys are standing, that is the ground floor, and where I'm going to enter through, that will be the basement. So let's go in, I show you. So guys, at this particular point, this bridge comes like this. It floats all the way to this side and connects to this house through this point. As you see, there's left some provision for connecting the bridge with the Y6. So this will be the parking in the basement. So let's go in. So here, my guys have already started working on this area. We are working on the ceilings. Look at the metallic frameworks that holds the gypsum. Well done. These things are done in such a way that you can actually hang on them. Then we also leave provision whereby the electricians and any other service, whatever, going on the site, you can actually leave the allowance for you to do the cabling, the piping, and all that. And for here, because of the connection between the other side and this side, we had a lot of beams floating here. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to make this place as simple as possible, and also to kill the sharpness, whereby the sharpness are being brought up by so many corners around with the beams. So we are going to make a step ceiling here and a flat ceiling here, whereby now this defines the walkway. Then on this side, we also, because of whatever that is happening on the interior, we've also come up with another step ceiling inside here just to define this place and to make it more softer as compared to so many beams. So let's walk in. So guys, we are in the basement. This project, actually what we have done, we have tried to do it differently from the rest of the projects. We started this project, I think 2 weeks ago. It was completely empty. We've been doing the skimming and the gypsum works in the past 2 weeks. This time round, we tried to introduce more team as compared to very few people to cover the project in a shorter period of time. So in a span of 2 weeks, we've done all the gypsum structures. We've done we've done the fillers, and we have done also the skimming. And my guys are actually now being involved in the skimming, and painting should start next week. We have a target of exactly 1 month to do whatever we are supposed to do on this side, and just walk in so that I show you how the ceilings are looking. Guys, you see the walls. I'm very sorry I didn't show you the status of the walls, but I'll show you one of the walls somewhere that has been not skimmed. This is the first coat of skimming. After this, we look at any other places that have a that are bumpy, and then we'll do the second coating of the skimming so that we avoid seeing some few bumps on the walls. And then if you look on the upper side of the roof, this is the raw gypsum. The skimming has started. Look at the way this is a paper net that was put, and then the first coat of filler done in a way that it is very smooth. At times you go to a site and you notice that the first skimming is very rough. Once you see that kind of skimming, just be rest assured that the final product might not be as smooth as possible. So this is the first skimming, just a very smooth layer under on top of the paper net, so that now once you do that and you repeat the second coat of the filler, that joint disappears completely and it's permanent. And if you don't follow that procedure, after a while that thing will start showing, or the joint will start now to be revealed. If you check around the corners, look at the way we treat our corners. We do it nicely in such a way that the wall and the gypsum are seamless. In those places, we also introduce something called a corner tape. A corner tape makes that place between the ceiling and the gypsum completely sealed and seamless. That at times some people leave them out, but us, we make sure that that is well done before even putting the cornices, because after this, probably tomorrow, we are starting to put the cornices around. And what we have done in this site is we have tried to be as simple as possible in terms of the execution, in terms of the designs in the ceilings. Very simple. Like if you check, this is a bedroom, a very simple step with just a cove light inside, and then just a step around. So here, for example, we just have one beautiful downlighter around here, and then probably another downlighter on this side, and another downlighter here. So 3 downlighters in this room with the dimmer switches, just to provide that ambience warm light in this bedroom. And this is basically where the headboard will be. And then look at the treatment that we are doing on the windows. This is a treatment called the pelmet box, whereby it is created through the gypsum plus the cornices. We've done this in such a way that even the edging on this side and the edging on that side, we give an allowance of roughly around 70 millimeters. This 70 millimeters allows you to treat the boxing in such a way that instead of using the size of a board, whereby after putting the cornice, at times when you're skimming it, the joint between the cornice and the gypsum, when the gypsum is 18 millimeter and the cornice is 10 mm, at times getting that finish down there is a bit tricky. So what we came up with in such a way that we do a nice box around here, so that when the cornice comes, it comes on top, and then we have the edging on both sides well treated, so that you don't have to see any problems on your pelmet box. Then now this recesses up 250 millimeters from the wall, so that we give an allowance that when you come in now with your curtain rods, you can nicely screw them on the wall, and when you're draping them also, they fold in full gathers, giving you space to draw in and draw out nicely. So if you check around, maybe when you're watching our last reveal, you will see a treatment around this point, and the way the curtain will be flowing. And this, because of this window from wall to wall and this side, we decided to make this one item from this corner all the way to the other corner, so that when you're drawing your curtains around this place, it is one item. This, if I don't have to go all through the rooms, you'll see it being repeated in all the rooms, just to give the same look, the same treatment in all the spaces. So I'll just take you through the other rooms, but I will not be speaking in through all the rooms, but you will notice the simplicity, the treatment around the pellet boxes, the finishes in terms of skimming, and we are also doing the tilings in the bathrooms. Let me take you into one of the bathrooms so that you see even the type of finishes that we are talking about, because in this project we are working with zero joint. Zero joint is one of the toughest thing that most designers have failed, because of how to join those tiles together and get the 90 degrees and also avoid the bumps on the tiles. But in this one, let me show you. So guys, as an example, let me just show you. All the walls in this house have this rough plaster. This is one of the bathrooms that is remaining, but the entire house had this kind of finish. And we've been doing the skimming. If you check, one of my foodies forgot and even started with this place, not knowing that this is a bathroom. But all the walls were like this, and we have been working on them just to ensure that by the time we leave this side, it is to the international standards. We don't leave any stones unturned. We start by sanding the plaster so that you remove any particles that are popping out before you even start doing the filler. All the bathrooms, if you look at the bathrooms, they all looked like this. So we come up and do a few repairs. If you check here, we have some plaster to be done. So we come up with that. We do the plastering. We remove all this debris on top of this plaster before even starting to do anything called tiling or anything called skimming. So let's go up so that I show you what's happening. So guys, this is the ground floor of this house. It looks like the first floor, but it is the ground floor. First, let me talk about the staircase. We are doing proper staircase granite blocks on this staircase. We are also doing the railing along the staircase. So those are some of the works that you will also see in terms of evaluating our products. So let me leave it there because this is just a reveal of this site. And then from this point, this is the ground floor and this is the main entrance porch of this house. The floating bridge will be coming like this, and you land around here and you walk in. As you walk in, what we are doing, simplicity is our main and core thing in our design. We've done just a simple ceiling with some nice beautiful lights. We put a cornice around, then you enter into the main entrance door, open it, then get to the house. As you enter the house, this house, because of the 3 floors, it had a lot of beams across. That is something maybe I was not able to show you, but I think I'll look into my pictures to just show you what was happening. There is a beam here. There is no beam here. There is no beam here, but there are 2 beams around this lounge. So me and the architect on the ground, we sat down, but we wanted to simplify the space as much as we could. And he had done some designs, but we had to come together and just, with our experience in interior design, merge with what he wanted to come up with a space that is so calm and very relaxing. So we first of all did a flat ceiling in this house. Actually, the entire house, we are doing flat ceilings because of the slabs and the beams that are running across. Luckily enough, we had a very nice, good room height. So first of all, we started with covering the beams that was the supportive beams that are around this space. Done that, and then after that, now we came up with the designs for this space, just to cover up and smoothen up the space. So, because at times when you come to a project and you find those harsh beams running around the house, in one way or the other, when you're doing your designs, it can be a big challenge. Secondly, after you finished, just like a designer, you have finished your things. Probably you've told your client, I'll do designs in terms of ceiling works and scaling and all that, without thinking about the end product or without thinking about how the house or the space will look. After you've finished your project, you moved out and probably the furniture has been brought in. The arrangement of the furniture at times conflicts with the ceiling and the things our designers or us designers do. So when you're doing even the ceilings or you're doing anything in your construction, you have to carefully think about the end product and how probably you'll arrange your house and all that. So with these two beams running around here, and if I was just to do a design maybe in terms of gypsum, I would have maybe worked around the beams in such a way that even the beams could be part of the designs without factoring in the issue of arrangement and seating and facing and all that. So by the time I'm done, the ceilings will look very beautiful, very nice. But when now I bring in the furnitures and I want to arrange them nicely in this place, they will conflict with the arrangement. Why? Because at times, in terms of ergonomics and even arrangement, we normally don't want naturally to sit under a beam or sit under something running across your head. So those are the things you factor in, and those are the things you look at, and that is what we've done in this house. We've done that, covered all the beams that are around, and introduced also new beams. Because why introduce other beams? Look at this. We have covered all the beams. There was a beam here, but that beam was, after doing the flat ceiling and we wanted to do a step ceiling under, the beam disappeared inside the ceiling. But we wanted to separate this side and this side. So we came up with the false beam. So this beam is actually out of gypsum, so that when you are running our cornices around this space, we can separate this side and this side. So we came up with this false beam. And then if you go around the house on top and below, we have been trying to create another space here, whereby when you enter, we define this space in such a way that as you go up the staircase or as you go into the bedrooms, this space is well defined as a porch. So we have also created a false beam here. This beam was not there, but because of the beam that was there and we lowered it a bit, we created this beam, and also created this beam to separate the staircase area and this other area. So all these are false beams that we have come up with, so that we put a cornice around here that defines this area. And then because we wanted the same design in terms of ceilings in the corridors, we also came up with that beam, and that beam for this area. So the lounge has been defined, the corridor to the bedroom defined, the corridor around the staircase well defined, and then separated the lounge and the dining in a very professional way. Again, you come to this side. When you look at the images we took on this side initially, there are again other two beams here. Right now, even when you ask me where they are, I might not be able to tell you, but we had two beams here that we also covered nicely before we did the ceiling. Then we did a very beautiful, simple ceiling, a step ceiling around that will have a very simple cornice and a bulkhead on top of the dining. So our dining will sit here nicely with maybe 4 chairs on this side, 4 chairs on this side, 1 chair on that side, and 1 chair on that side. Living room for the corridor. In this corridor, if you check, we have done it in such a way that the ceiling or the bulkhead on top of the passage to the kitchen is well defined. So we'll have our lights here and separate it that side and this side. Then as you walk to the kitchen, we are actually not, the kitchen has been imported by the client, so we are not directly involved, but we've been involved in terms of consultancy, in terms of what to be brought in, how it's gonna sit, where it's gonna be placed, and where to get what and what. So this here, we have prepared everything in terms of cabling, in terms of whatever, and we are going to do the tiling around this area just to wait for the kitchen to be brought and it will be fitted in. We've done the ceiling nicely to echo how the kitchen layout will also be. Look at this side, these will be tall cabinets. And then we have put it in such a way that the cabinets will sit on that side with light on top. We have an island in the middle, and then we have a step on that side, a step, and then we have lights in the middle. And then on this side, nicely done, and also cover the beams that were there. So this space is also well catered for. So the next stage, we are coming in, we are going to do the tiling, both on the walls and on the floors, to just prepare it early enough to wait for the kitchen to come. Then on this other area, without forgetting, we are doing the floors. And this is going to be our wooden finish floors that are going to be done. Then this wall has been skimmed, and it is just waiting the guys for sanding to be done. The second skimming has been done, and the wall looks it is very smooth, apart from a few bumps around here which are going to be skimmed nicely. And then from there we do our undercoats. Then after the undercoats, 2 coats of undercoats, and then we come with our final paint, which will be in silk. Look at even the beams, look at the corners, well done corners. You might think there is a metallic strip inside here. There is no metallic strip. This is just having the right team to do your beams nicely, and those have been done. So with a bit of sanding on this side and a bit of filler, then this column will be ready for paintwork and final treatment. Then if you also look, because of light, this is what I was talking about from the basement. So this is the pelmet box, well done nicely, 250 millimeters from the wall, and then gives you room to hang your curtains. And then nicely, this one we have provision for motorized curtains. So the motor will be placed here and the other side, and then this will be remotely controlled. Then if you check our theme in the side, most of the ceilings are very simple step ceilings with cove lights. Those are indirect lights that are going to be introduced in that. So without further ado, or without wasting most of your time, the rest of the spaces have been done more or less the same. I just walk into the master because the master had a bit of challenge to take you through what we went through before we even settled on something. So guys, this is the master. Again, another ISO. Let me show you. I think I did a number of drawings on this wall, and this was really a big issue. Look at this. There was a beam around here. This room, this is the entire room from here to here to here to here. And this is where the bed was meant to sit. Then where the bed was meant to sit, we have a beam running across here and another beam running across here. And this beam was roughly around 450 millimeter drop. So the first thing we wanted to do is to define the space and make it in such a way that when you walk in, it is calm, kill the sharpness, and make it one item without dividing into so many things. So first of all, we decided to kill the beams. Item number 1. Item number 2 is now, how do you kill them without interfering with other space? So we kill this beam from here to here and kill it from here to here, and we leave the place for the bed. Then after killing that, we decided that as we kill, we just come all the way like that, in such a way that now we have this part only in the behind part of the bed. So once we have that divided and that divided, and the beams have been killed, so the only space that we are creating the space on top of the bed and the space for the lounge in the bedroom. So this was a very big fight, but look around now. If you walk in this space, you might think from the onset, these were the ideas. We created a lounge for them here, whereby we have just a few small downlighters, and the TV comes here. With all the measurements in place, we have the 450 cabinet, that is the TV unit cabinet, and the TV here. Then from there, as normal, we leave 1.2 or 1.5, and then we have a table, and then we have a couch here facing that side, and they have their nice lounge around here. And then again, maybe a step like that, and then this side, where we are here, I even didn't know that I've already reached where the ceiling is, but exactly there, we created now nice, beautiful stepped ceilings, each at 70, 70, 70, stepping up. And then on these steps, we are going to introduce some nice step cornices of 3-inch, 3-inch, so that it becomes a classical look around here. So when you come in, you will think this was molded as one item. Then with a nice chandelier on top of the bed, probably one light here, and probably another light here, and then there are wall brackets. And I was telling my architects that we will have dimmer lights in such a way that we have a chandelier here, but the downlighters around here, which are just 3 pieces, we will dim them in such a way that now it is so cozy around the bed. Then we have our switches on that side, switches on this side, a wall bracket on that side, wall bracket, all controlled from both sides. Then on this side, same treatment with motorized curtains all the way. So it's just remotely controlled. You switch it on, switch it off, it closes, it closes or it opens. And then it has also been given room so that when you're drawing the curtains or when you're closing them, you have space for your full gathers. And that is it for that side. And that is our beautiful ceiling, still yet to be finished. We're just waiting a few sanding, and then we do our undercoats, and then we finalize with our brilliant white matte emulsion for the ceilings. Then on this side, we have done it in such a way that our cabinets come, wardrobes start from here, from the wall 600 up to there, and it will leave a step on the other side, almost the same size, like that, and the room will look uniform and as one. Then these cabinets will flow all the way to here, then we'll have our dresser here, and then the rest of the cabinets flows all the way to the other side. So we have the his and the hers separated with a dressing unit in the middle. And then probably let's just walk into this bathroom. So it is a bit dark, but you'll bear with us. Let's see how we are walking around the bathrooms. So guys, this is the master bathroom. Again, a little bit of fights here there with my architect, who's also my closest friend, who is also my business partner. We fought and we settled on a very simple design. Here, this is where the shower cubicle will come, like this. And it has been nicely defined. Once we seal it, the shower cabinets, the frameless glass panels will go all the way. It starts here, it ends somewhere here, goes back, and it is in between there. Then our toilet is seated here, and our wash hand basin flows all the way from here to there. We have done some remodification on the sockets because we noticed that it was not thought well before, but this has been remodified. Look at the walls. If you stand there and look at this, you might not see the joint, and that's what I'm talking about, the seamless or the zero joint. This is a zero joint kind of setup. Our client wanted this. If you touch it, it's completely seamless. This is something that so many people really fail, because at times when you come so close, you might not be able to join these tiles at 90 degrees. This is something I'm so particular about. At times, I look at this, it might not be 99% right, but I'm very sure it is around 92.57%. So that by the time now we do a bit of grouting from afar, when you walk in, unless you come and move too close, you might not see the joints. And that is what has been happening in all the bathrooms. It is the same design for all the bathrooms, and I really like it. So guys, this is a balcony connected to the dining area. Around this place, we're going to do nice railing, beautiful wooden ceilings, just to have something a bit different from what we are doing on the inside. Then as I walk out here, maybe once everything is done, when people are seated, another wooden ceiling, because this is where we are going to have our laundry area. Then as I walk out, I'm going to the barbecue area, which is connected to the kitchen and the dining. So this is the barbecue area. So you see this structure, it is well done. This is the baking area, this is the cooking area, and these are the countertops, and then this is the sink area. And then people are being served from here, seated on that side. We are doing some beautiful subway tiles on that side. Then with a variety of a different tile on this side, beautiful countertops. Then as you walk out, all this is going to be having a granite top on top, and then some beautiful treatment on the lower side, beautiful tiles. And then even as I was telling you guys, the skirting around this house, some parts haven't been done. We are doing the skirting in Mazeras all the way, and then we are doing the rough and tough. So places like this, we are going to do plastering, that is the repair works, and then from next week we start doing the finishes. And that is it for this particular project. So guys, thanks again for taking your time to just watch our reveal for this Lavington project. As usual, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also on our social media pages at Keith Interiors, where style meets elegance.